Hola, Piperinos!
Hello!
Welcome to another episode of the Disney Beams. I'm Sherry.
I'm Gooch.
And cat.
Who?
Cat!
You're not a cat.
You're not a cat. You're Josie.
No, I'm cat boy.
You're
Are you cat boy?
Okay.
Okay, cat boy.
So she's
we have a
cat
guest.
boy.
We have a guest host. Cat boy.
Yes. Here, come over here so they can see your pretty face. So, welcome back to another episode. Hope you guys are doing well. Josie, please be careful. Please don't knock it over. This is a new video. It's in our top 5 series, but we've kind of moved away from dining. We may revisit that. We may revisit some dining later, but we want to start on our top 5 rides. So this is going to be our top 5 rides at Magic Kingdom.
Not attractions.
Not attractions.
Rides.
Rides. So Josie, please put that down.
What is your favorite ride at Disney World?
Oh, come on.
So that's my train.
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
I had a feeling I knew that.
And can we the monster about that?
And the Barnstormer?
And the Barnstormers, and what else?
You like Peter Pan?
And Peter Pan's Flight.
Yeah, and Haunted Mansion. Josie, please.
Mommy's trying to influence her toward Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion? She really does
She
like
does
it.
like Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
And what else do you like, Josie?
Ghost.
The Grim Gonna Ghost, that's the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah.
Okay, and what else do you like? Aladdin's Flying Carpets.
The
Very
flying carpets.
good, Josie.
Very good.
So there's Josie's top 5.
There you go.
She likes the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, followed by the Barnstormers, followed by
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan's Flight, followed by Haunted Mansion, followed by Aladdin's Flying Carpets.
There you go. Thank you, Josie.
Thank you, Josie. Very good.
All right, you want to run in there and watch
All right, let's take a break.
WWE?
No, leave that here. Leave that here. Okay.
Thank you,
Going in there.
Josie. That was very
Very
helpful.
good, Josie. So there's Josie's top 5.
All right.
So now we'll move on to Gooch and Cherry's top 5.
Yes. So we have not seen each other's lists, although we can probably guess.
Yeah. and this is a list that we will actually differ more on than any other list.
Probably.
We do, because I'm more of a thrill ride junkie, and she doesn't. It's not that she dislikes the thrill rides. She likes the thrill rides, but she has others that she likes better. So.
Well, I also have issues where I can't.
Sickness,
yeah, I can do some roller coasters, but not super intense ones. They just tear my nerves up.
So you can probably see where this is going already.
Yeah. So and just because it's didn't make our list doesn't mean we don't like it. We love
all of them.
We love all of them. So comment below and let us know what your favorites are. So would you like to begin with number 5?
Okay, my number 5 is a classic Disney ride that actually began at Disneyland and was carried over to Disney World at Magic Kingdom. And it is now features, it has been revamped over the years because there's now a movie series. And it has had the main character from said movie series added throughout the ride, and it is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
That now features Captain Jack Sparrow, as well as Blackbeard and Davy Jones.
And
Barbossa, depending on which little graphic you get when you go through that mist at the beginning.
They do tell tales.
Yes. So Pirates of the Caribbean is my number 5.
Very good. It's a little higher on my list, but we'll get to that. So my number 5 is one we haven't been able to ride in some time because Josie's not been tall enough to ride it. However, in November that's not going to be the case because she's 40 inches.
And that opens up a lot.
It opens up a lot.
Not everything. She's still got 4 inches to go for everything.
Yes.
It opens up a lot.
Yes, but this, in fact,
So we get some more Disney firsts.
We have some Disney firsts coming up for this trip.
That's going to be awesome.
For her. But yeah, this happens to be the wildest ride in the wilderness. It is Big Thunder Mountain.
Wow. It's a little higher on my list.
Okay. But yeah, I love Big Thunder. I love the queuing, the queue line, the scenery that as you're going, and it's a pretty.
I like the stuff you can see from the train ride that you wouldn't have seen otherwise because you're going by so fast.
And you get a really nice view.
Not the Big Thunder Mountain train ride, but the actual train. You know, the train that takes you around the park.
Yeah.
Because you see parts of Big Thunder Mountain. On that train ride that you wouldn't have seen otherwise.
Yeah, so, absolutely. But
really cool.
I love Big Thunder Mountain. It's intense, but it's not too intense that it's going to make me throw up. So I like that. I like not throwing up.
Not throwing up is good.
So Big Thunder Mountain is my number 5. What is your number 4, Gage?
My number 4 is undoubtedly higher on Cherry's list.
Okay.
It may be on top. In fact, I know it's on top without even asking her.
Well, let's not spoil it.
I'm not going to spoil it, but this is a ride that has also been around since I was a kid because I remembered it when I went for the first time in 1977.
Okay.
What I remembered most about it was the library scene when you're riding through and the ladders that were not moving, that are moving with no one on it, and the glowing busts of the riders.
Okay.
And the glowing footsteps on the stairs as you're riding through, and Madame Leota. So obviously, if you know anything about what I'm talking about, you know that my number 4 is Haunted Mansion.
Very good. Yeah, it is a smidge higher on mine.
Gee,
let's not.
Gee, I wonder.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Grim Gun and Gross come out to socialize.
Yeah, and that's nice of them. I'm just saying.
They're nice ghosts. They just like to socialize.
They like to hitchhike and take your head off.
Yeah. Beware of hitchhiking ghosts.
All right.
And speaking of that, I do like the updates they've done over the years.
Yes.
The hitchhiking ghosts are fantastic.
Yeah. And we have.
And it's different each time. So.
Yeah, and we have interesting commentary when we're riding through. If you've seen our videos of Haunted Mansion, and there's more to come for the December 2016 trip.
Yes, there is.
Pretty interesting. So very good. All right. So my number 4 is one of the newer attractions. It has already been mentioned by our daughter. I really love the way they did this ride. The fact that it's a family coaster and smaller toddlers can ride this and get a little bit of a thrill. But I love the scene, especially the scene that you ride through in the mine. So of course I am talking about Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Very good.
It's still kind of the new shiny. You have to get your fast pass like right away, as I found out, because I was able to get my fast pass for 2 of our 3 Magic Kingdom days coming up. But the one closest to the beginning of the trip, nothing.
No go. So we're gonna have to go for it first thing and try to get in line before everyone else does.
Yeah, or maybe do it during the Festival of Fantasy.
It'll be a foot race.
Yeah. So, but I really love it. I love the theming. It's fantastic. Even the queue line, if you have to go through the queue line, it's really cool. I love the fact that you can do it in the early morning magic, separate ticketed item.
You know, the early morning magic was really a fantastic idea. And I know people talk about, I don't want to pay extra for that.
You don't have to.
But I'm going to tell you what, you don't have to, because I don't mind going and being able to walk on Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
We rode it 5 times.
Get off and then get right back on without waiting at all.
5 times.
We rode it 5 times consecutively.
Now, if you don't like the 3 rides that it includes, I wouldn't suggest it, but...
Yeah, it includes Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, Peter Pan's Flight, and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, if you don't like those rides, I wouldn't do it, but because that's pretty much... That's the most of the appeal of it.
Yeah.
But I love the theming. I love the theming at the end as you're waiting to get in and you see the cottage, the dancing with the witch standing outside. I just love it. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is my number 4. What is your number 3?
My number 3 has already been mentioned by Cherry. And
we're not getting a whole lot of differentiation.
Well, the differentiation is where it is on the list.
Okay.
And it's a little higher on my list because I'm a coaster fiend. I've always said about roller coasters, if they will build it, I will ride it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter, the higher the better, the faster the better, the tighter the turns the better. I've ridden rides where you hit the bottom of the hill so fast and directly into a turn where you start to black out a little. Some people are afraid of that. I like that.
I'm not afraid of it. I just don't want to black out.
Well, I like the thrill of that kind of speed and the G-forces that you turn. this ride doesn't have all of that, but it does have some thrill to it, and the theming is fantastic, as Cherry has already pointed out, and it is Big Thunder Mountain. And I am so happy to say that we're going to be able to introduce Josie to this coming up on our
We got
upcoming.
a fast pass for it.
We have a fast pass for it, and
First thing in the morning too.
Can't wait for Josie to experience this one because she's really loved the two roller coasters that she's ridden to date.
Well, those were her number.
Those were her 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So she's really loved those. So I'm really excited to introduce her to a new one, and now she can have 3 roller coasters that are her favorites.
Yeah. So very good. My number 3 is a dark ride. You may get a little wet on it. It tells a little story about a rabbit that gets into a lot of trouble.
Did he get thrown into a briar patch?
He got thrown into a briar patch. And you go down with him all the way down in, and he gets splashed. Mountain!
Wait, different rabbit.
A different rabbit, but
Fearless Freak. That's my boy.
wrong rabbit.
Sorry.
But Splash Mountain is my number 3. I've always loved this ride. The trick is if you're riding in the front and you don't want to get completely splashed in the face, duck. I'm just saying. But
if you want the full experience, just go ahead and take it.
Just go ahead and take it like a man, take it like a woman.
Take it like an adult.
But
or a kid.
But the theming is fantastic. This is another one that Josie will get to experience for the first time on this trip. My favorite part is as you're going up that hill and the kind of sinister music comes in, and there are the buzzards going, "Laughing place, eh? We'll show you a laughing place," and then. So and mad props to Angry Splash Mountain Lady. I love her on Twitter. She's awesome. So my number 3 is in a lot of nostalgia involved. Obviously, is Splash Mountain.
Very good. That's a great one.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 has already been mentioned by both Cherry and Josie.
Okay.
And a lot of the reason that it's my number 2 is because it's Josie's favorite. And it's a roller coaster, which makes it happy for me. It is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for all the reasons that Cherry's already mentioned. And the other thing that I really like, they innovated on this ride, in that when you're in the car sways.
Yeah, the swing.
So
really cool.
So that adds another little kind of thrill to it that you don't really get. It's different. It's a different feeling because most roller coasters are very rigid and you're just stuck in the turn. Here, you kind of stick in the turn and sway a little bit, so it's a little different. So I like that. So Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is my number 2.
Very good. My number 2 has already been mentioned by you. Seriously, we're not getting a whole lot of differentiation.
They're just in different.
They're just in different order.
orders.
There are other great rides, but it has already been mentioned. It's a nostalgia thing for me, making it this high, because it is literally the very first ride that I ever rode at Walt Disney World on my very first trip in 2001.
If it's what I think it is, come to think of it, I think I rode it in 1977 as well as a kid, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
Yes, and that's exactly what it is. What's not to love? The queue line is fantastic, especially if you can look through and see the little skeleton guys that are still playing the chess game after all these years.
It's the never-ending chess game.
Yeah, and you know, with the cannons, and then when you go in on the ride, you see shipwrecks. You see a skeleton,
dead mermaid skeleton.
A dead mermaid skeleton. You see a guy, you know, a skeleton guy telling you dead men tell no tales, but you still keep going.
Now, there's been some controversy about this ride recently.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. There's been some controversy about this ride. Well, about the redhead.
Okay.
So my understanding is they're not actually taking the redhead out. They're just making it so that she's not being auctioned. It is the chicken that will be auctioned, from what I understand.
Yeah.
You know, I get where they're coming from, given the day and age we're in, but I also get that we sometimes forget that in history this actually did happen. So it was historically correct. So I'm not going to really give my opinion on it. I'm just going to say that, you know, a ride is a ride. And if you take it too seriously and take it beyond what it is, being fun, then you make things not fun.
Yeah.
So when you're at Disney World, just have fun.
Yeah.
You know, go to your happy place. Don't try to politicize everything and, you know, take things away from other people just because you may or may not agree with it. You know what? If you don't agree with it, fine. That's great. I get it. There are things I don't agree with, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop having fun and ruin stuff for everyone else.
That's true.
So
that's very true. Okay, but
so
politics aside, I love, and I am glad that they are keeping the redhead.
Yeah, she's staying. She's staying. They're just not going to auction her anymore.
Yeah. Hold on, Josie.
Hold on, Josie. Wait.
All right, so that is Pirates of the Caribbean is my number 2.
Please,
Josie, please careful.
Please, no,
Careful.
Please let me have it.
No, you don't need that.
No, you don't want to open those up.
Just
okay.
Watch your show.
We'll call you back in, baby.
Yeah.
All right. So, what is your? I think I pretty much know what it is, but what is your number 1?
Okay, my number 1 is the oldest ride in the park, but it always has the longest line.
Woo!
And you know, cue the 2001 Space Odyssey music because it is Space Mountain.
I know it.
The man.
Yeah,
So Space Mountain is one of those rides where it's iconic. It is if you kind of pay attention to the way Disneyland is set up, you have Fantasyland where the focal point is the castle, right? And then you have Adventureland where the focal point is like Splash Mountain and Big Thunder Mountain. And then you have Tomorrowland, which the focal point is Space Mountain. So you have 3 mountains throughout the park, and they even carry that over into Animal Kingdom, where you've got Expedition Everest, which has the mountain. So it's one of those iconic rides. It's a roller coaster. The queue line is fantastic. They've added some interaction to it, so you can go. So you've got something to kind of occupy yourself as you're going through the queue line. When you get there, you strap yourself in and you go shooting off through space, basically, is what you're doing. And because it's dark inside, but you're still twisting and turning in your rocket ship that you're riding through space in. And it's just, I know it's old, I know it's been there a long time, but that doesn't change the awesomeness that is Space Mountain.
Okay, and I will say, because it didn't make my list, doesn't mean I don't love it. It just means that it makes me really sick to ride it. The last time I rode it, it took like half a day to recover. It was
I will say I have not been able to ride Space Mountain the last couple of trips because Josie's not tall enough yet, and we've been trying to focus on stuff for her. But I will say on the upcoming, I'm going to make it a point to try to ride it at least once, because as our friend from Mermaid and Jedi Adventure says,
David, yes.
You need some special Space Mountain time.
You mean precious Space Mountain time. You need precious Space Mountain time.
Thank you for that, for putting that so eloquently,
I think
David.
Lori and I are going to write a song about it.
Precious Space Mountain time. It's definitely high on my list. Obviously, it's number 1.
It's number 1. I don't think it can get any higher.
My number 1 is Space Mountain.
All right, very good. Well,
woo! Okay.
All right, well, my number 1 has been mentioned by you. I just think that Master Gracie is a most gracious host. I mean, he gives you a full tour. I was going to do it.
I know.
He gives you a full tour of his house, and he offers for you to join them. They want 1,000 people. Come on.
They've got 999. There's room for 1,000. Any volunteers?
Any volunteers? My number 1 is Haunted Mansion.
Duh.
There's just something about this ride that just, anytime I'm there, I have to do it at least once. But if I could do it 3 or 4 times, we're gonna do it.
And I'm good with that. I mean, Haunted Mansion was on my top 5 as well.
It's just freaking awesome. The song. I mean, it sets you up from the beginning with the portrait, and then you go into the room, and it stretches, and you know
there's always my way.
And I found out something really interesting. If you look in the portrait gallery of the stretching room,
the parasol.
Well, no.
Talk about that?
Let's not talk about that. The lady who is sitting on the tombstone, supposedly she is an older portrait of the bride that is up in the attic. So I can't remember who it was that said that, but then it made sense because she's sitting on the grave of a husband or something like that. So I was like, oh, sense. Okay. But you have the bride thing that up there that's really creepy.
The dance scene down in the dining room. That's
and they use the most, the cheapest effects probably on property.
But
it's so effective.
Amazing,
that whole party scene is great, and of course Madame Leota. I wish they would go back to her head floating because
I like the head floating better.
Yeah, I do too.
Sitting on the table is not the same.
Yeah, but it's just the most awesome ride.
And then of course the Grim Granite Ghost song.
That's the best song ever. It's when the crypt doors creaks and the tombstones quake.
When you're riding through that whole scene. And somebody please throw that dog a bone. He needs to be fed.
Get some Alpo.
Get some Alpo something.
Give him a steak. Gosh, he's
a cheeseburger or something.
He's so skinny.
He needs some meat on his bones.
He really does. Seriously. And of course you have hurry back. See, they're telling you to hurry back.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're very welcoming.
Master Gracie's just rocks. I'm just sorry. I'm just saying.
And not to mention the hitchhiking ghosts.
Yeah, and it has one of the better after ride souvenir shops.
Oh yeah.
Memento Mori is fantastic.
And you can never downplay a ride in a dune buggy.
Come on.
It's a dune buggy.
It's a dune buggy. So my number one is Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
So do you have any?
I do. I have three. Honorable mentions.
Okay.
And I'm gonna run through them real quick. The first honorable mention is Jungle Cruise.
I forgot about Jungle Cruise. Oh my
Jungle
God!
Cruise.
I love Jungle Cruise.
So Jungle Cruise, if you're not familiar, and hopefully you are, Jungle Cruise is one of those original Disney World, Disneyland.
It was a Walt idea.
It was a Walt idea. It's an original Walt ride, and you're basically riding through the jungle. And it was started off as like a conservation message, but over the years it kind of got dated, so they updated how they present the ride, and it becomes very campy because all of the all of the skippers they tell these awful jokes that are so terrible they're funny.
I've actually got a video coming up from the December trip of the Jingle Cruise because they update it for Christmas.
Now I understand they're not doing the Jingle Cruise at Disneyland this year.
Oh, well,
they're not doing the Jingle Cruise at Disneyland, but they are doing it at Disney World.
Okay, that's fine.
So, but they tell the most awful jokes as you ride through.
And yet I still laugh. It doesn't matter how bad they are.
And where else can you see the backside of water? I'm just saying. And if you really want to get a rise out of the skipper, you say, well, how do we know that's not the front side? Well, they'll say, because it's on the backside, you idiot. So, Jungle Cruise is one of my honorable mentions. My next honorable mention, it was mentioned by our daughter, Josie, Peter Pan's Flight. And basically, you're in a ship sprinkled with pixie dust. You're riding, you start off going through Wendy and the nursery bedroom. You fly through there, and then you see Tinkerbell, and then she sprinkles you with pixie dust, and you go on your way. You fly over London, and you head for the second star on the right, and you end up in Neverland, and you see those scenes.
Okay.
The next one was mentioned by Cherry already, and it's Splash Mountain for all those same reasons. Plus, there's nowhere else in the park where you can get exposed to Song of the South.
Right.
And that fantastic movie that has been taken down, but it really is a great movie.
We're thinking it's great. I mean, I haven't seen it since I was 5. It may not have held up very well.
May not have held up very well.
We don't know.
We don't know because we haven't been able to see it, but that's the inspiration for Splash Mountain was Song of the South. And I love that ride. I love the drops at the end. It's got a little bit of thrill. It's got the scenes for Brer Rabbit and Brer Bear, Brer Fox, and you get thrown into a briar patch.
Very good.
So there's my honorable mentions.
All right, so I have 4 honorable mentions now. One that has not been mentioned yet is Dumbo the Flying Elephant.
Which turned into a water ride the first time.
Yeah.
I rode it.
I really like the update that they did with it, with the waterfall underneath, and that they've added 2 of them, so you don't have to.
Now, didn't that used to be further up in Fantasyland?
Yes.
Yeah, they moved it when they did the new Fantasyland.
Yep.
It's back near the carnival area.
I think it was where the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where it was.
But yeah, they moved it, and they just did a fantastic job.
They updated it. The queue line is great. They've got a play area for the kids if
Yes.
they're tired of waiting in line.
Yes.
They can go play a little bit. They can go wait in line a little while longer. So they did a great job with that.
Absolutely. My next honorable mention is one that hasn't been mentioned yet. It is Under the Sea. Voyage is it Journey of the Little Mermaid? Journey of the Little Mermaid.
It's good.
I think it's a great dark ride. Unless I'm screaming at people to stop using flash photography, like I did in that video.
Don't use flash photography.
That just drives me nuts.
It ruins the experience for other riders.
We'll lament on that later.
Yeah.
But I think it's it's very colorful. And of course, Ursula gets her own section.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Of course,
She
I'm
loves her.
all
Ursula
about
is
that.
like your favorite villain.
I think she is. I think she may have taken over for Maleficent, although Maleficent's still up there.
Maleficent she's a bad lady. I mean, you don't to a dragon.
But Poor Unfortunate Souls is a fantastic song. I'm just saying. My next honorable mention, you mentioned it already, is Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Pan's Flight. Great dark ride. It's unusual in that you're riding up here instead of riding down here.
Right.
And it just tells a great story.
Yep.
And then I had to add Jungle Cruise because I had completely forgotten about it, and I absolutely adore Jungle Cruise.
What can I say except you're welcome?
Well, yeah, well, we're getting a Jungle Cruise movie with The Rock, so.
If you smell
what Maui's cooking.
What Maui is, it's interesting because I saw something the other day where Maui was inspired by Dwayne Johnson's grandfather, High King Peter Maivia.
Yeah, High Chief Peter Maivia.
Or High Chief Peter Maivia. That's pretty cool.
It is.
That he infused his grandfather into that.
I think it's great that they did that. So, yes. So that is our list. We need to do a recap. What is your?
Okay, my top 5. Number 5, Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 4, Haunted Mansion. Number 3, Big Thunder Mountain. Number 2, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. And number 1, Space Mountain.
Okay. My number 5 was Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Number 4 is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Number 3, Splash Mountain. Number 2, Pirates of the Caribbean. And number 1, Haunted Mansion. So
there you have it.
So
folks.
what is your list? Put it in the comments below. Let us know.
If we missed something that you didn't, if something wasn't on our list that would be on yours, that doesn't mean we don't love it. Just means that these were our favorites.
Yes. So I think the next video that we're going to be filming is our preview of our November Disney trip.
That Jersey Disney.
It's less than 50 days now.
And it's a surprise. Yeah. We're gonna tell her when we get in the car. It's gonna be awesome. We might Facebook Live that one.
I'm definitely gonna put it on the vlog for sure.
Yeah.
So anyway, with that, I guess we're good to go. Josie, you want to come say goodbye?
Come here, cat boy. Oh.
Goodbye.
So for what's your name? Cat boy.
Cat boy. Gooch.
I'm Cherry. We are. Oh no.
We told you to wait on that.
Yeah, wait on that. We are the Disney Bees. Whoa, Josie.
You want to say love, peace, rock?
So, how do we end every video?
Yeah. Peace. Rock. And get a piece of it.
That's right. Mwah!
See ya.
Bye, guys. We'll see you real soon.